Every big consulting firm and a few big tech providers have AI playbooks, frameworks, and strategies that promote agentic AI success. Most will hurt more than help. Let's talk about it. So welcome to the Cloud Computing Insider. If you're new, my name is Dave, a cloud and AI SME, best-selling author, speaker, tech influencer, and experienced technology executive. Let's get going. So agentic AI has become the newest consulting gold rush, and the noise is now louder than the signal. Every large firm is shipping playbooks, frameworks, and proven adoption paths that promise fast, cheap, repeatable success, often with an implied guarantee. But agentic AI is an architecture, not a feature, and architectures are situational, expensive to operationalize, and easy to overbuild. So when these cookie-cutter strategies ignore process ownership, data reality, governance, and integration limits, they don't accelerate outcomes. They manufacture disappointment. The result is force-fit platforms, fragile pilots, parallel-run legacy work, and credibility loss for everyone involved in the enterprise and beyond. So one of the reasons I did this video, actually I put a couple of posts out on LinkedIn, a couple of articles about the number of agentic AI playbooks and frameworks and strategies that are out there. And the fact of the matter is I think many of them are awful. They're going to misguide many of the enterprises that use them, are the consultants that take them, really as a checklist for success and move in completely the wrong direction. We're already at 95% of AI projects fail, including agentic AI projects out there. And the reason that they're failing is because they don't have a realistic understanding of what they're doing and the ability to find the right use cases and the ability to bring the most business value, back to the enterprise. They're just focused on the technology, and these things really are no different. So, and the reason I noticed this was I started to go through many of these strategies, playbooks, and frameworks that were being sent to me by technology providers. They're all over the place, and they're all eclectic. They're all very different but they all have the common pattern of their approach to solving the agentic AI problems. In other words, how they're going to build an agentic AI system within an enterprise using, their technology, using many different technologies, using some sort of a, partner technology stack. They're all over the place in how they're asserting their value, but ultimately they have very similar patterns. The fact of the matter is that they're walking you through a static set of processes to come up with a solution to a problem and your ability to implement a technology solution that's going to get you to agentic AI nirvana, so to speak. So, and if you don't know what agentic AI is, I did a video last year, and I'll go ahead and, put it up here. And also, I have an agentic AI course out on LinkedIn Learning. It's actually the most taken course in the world right now. I think I have 200,000 people that took the course. Obviously, and I know what I'm talking about. I've built a couple of dozen of agentic AI systems in my career, and I've been working with AI and as an AI architect since the 80s. So ultimately, pushing out hundreds of systems and the ability to kind of understand what works and what doesn't. Not that I don't make mistakes, which I do, but, learn from my mistakes. And the fact of the matter is I've been in this world for a long time, and I've seen what's effective and I've seen what's not. And we're moving after an agentic AI reality that's just not there. So what do these playbooks tell you? Well, I'll put one up as an example, and this is a fictitious company. And as you can see, they're walking you through a process and your ability to understand stakeholders and the ability to define use cases and the ability to define lots of stuff that we've understood that you need to define in an architecture framework for years and years and years. But at the end of the day, even though many of these playbooks look very much the same, they're missing core pieces that make them worthless. The fact of the matter is, the biggest question should be, should I be doing agentic AI in the first place? You got to remember that agentic AI is going to be more expensive. It's going to be 10 times as much more expensive than traditional application development approaches. And people don't understand that. They just kind of go for it as the hyped reality, and this is where they're going to build these systems today, very much like microservices in the past and, cloud native development and certainly, using containers and Kubernetes. Well, this is the new that. And people are looking for a nail when they have a hammer, and everybody's very excited about this framework. And the consulting firms are pushing it as something that you must have to evolve, something that you have to accept, something that you have to build into your enterprise. And that's absolutely not the case. So Agentic AI is going to have some value, but it's going to have value within a very narrow set of problem domains that are out there that are going to be perfectly acceptable to use Agentic AI, using AI agents to build these things. However, the majority of the problem domains that I'm seeing out there where Agentic AI is suggested, it's really a force fit. In other words, you're not going to get a lot of additional value out of using Agentic AI to solve the majority of business problems out there. You're going to be able to solve them using standard automation frameworks, perhaps, earlier AI approaches, machine learning, deep learning, things like that. And it doesn't necessarily require that you turn these things into a collection of agents. And I don't know why that became the default approach, but many of these playbooks, many of these strategies, many of these frameworks that are being pushed out there right now are pushing Agentic AI as the only solution. And that's almost never going to be the case. And by the way, that's the case with anything. As someone who's been an architect for years and years and years, when someone pushes something at you as the default way to solve the issue before they understand any of your problems, they're not necessarily suggesting a path that's going to be right for you and right for your business. So that doesn't mean it won't work. You can certainly spend a lot of money and time to make something work, but you're going to be running these systems at 10, 20, 30 times the cost. And if you're putting the resources into building those sorts of systems, obviously that's going to be resources that can't be applied in other areas of the enterprise. So the explosion of Agentic AI playbooks is a branding arms race, not evidence that adoption has become easy. What's pushing this right now is that many of the consulting firms feel that they're behind the eight ball in terms of Agentic AI. There's not a lot of Agentic AI that's actually occurring out there. Deloitte had some research that bared this out, and I'm seeing that in the world as well. And they're trying to drive demand. They're trying to, in essence, jump in front of the parade. And by jumping in front of the Agentic AI parade, they need their bona fides in terms of IP that they're able to create that shows you how smart they are in the Agentic AI space. And so they're taking creative license and creating these frameworks, creating these strategies, creating these playbooks to get ahead of that. So obviously, if they're able to show you something, here's our paper, here's our ebook, here's our, set of, technology stacks and partner technology stacks where we pre-thought about this problem and how to solve this problem. Therefore, you should work with us. And it's kind of a natural reaction that the consulting firms do that because they'd rather have something rather than nothing. And so when they go out into the market, they love promoting things they can touch, they can sell as a product. And in doing so, I understand why they're trying to make these assertions, but ultimately they're not helping anybody. Because if they're selling something that's pre-baked and pre-cooked and pre-thought about, they're not necessarily giving you a framework of understanding, and they're not necessarily giving you the ability to make a no-go decision as to whether or not you should be using Agentic AI in the first place. So I suspect that many of the customers and many of the consulting clients who buy into these playbooks, buy into these frameworks, buy into these strategies, they're going to be making a large mistake in the fact that they're leveraging a technology that they don't necessarily need. So most frameworks sell certainty because certainty closes deals, even when the underlying work is uncertain and messy. Architecture is not a clean process. So you have to figure out what your as-is state is, look at your existing state of your data, look at your existing state of your processes, look at the culture within the organization, the human factors, all those sorts of things, kind of come into you making a decision in terms of how you're going to solve the issue. So if you're trying to put this very structured framework around it, or very structured methodology around it, you're going to be missing some of the key components, not looking at your assets. Every AI system out there is going to be dependent on data that you currently have. Normally, it's not going to be creating net new data sets. It's going to be learning from your existing data sets. And within most of the enterprises out there, their data sets are a complete mess. And if you push forward, we're just pushing a generative AI system or an agentic AI system that uses generative AI. On top of that, without understanding or fixing your data, you're going to end up with a bad result. And I think in many cases, very few of these, if any, look at your existing state of data, look at your existing state of processes, look at your existing cultural state to really kind of make go, no-go decisions as to whether or not you're ready to use agentic AI or any AI for that matter. So agentic AI is architecture, and architecture that ignores your enterprise constraints becomes an expensive liability. This really kind of is the core reason why most of these playbooks, frameworks, and strategies out there end up being worthless, because we're pushing a solution at something we've yet to understand. And there's not a lot of understanding frameworks within these playbooks out there. They always say assess your current current enterprise architecture, talk to stakeholders, yada, 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 define some of the use cases, but not a deep dive in how that's going to be done. And I think in missing that piece, many people are going to be missing their understanding of what their problems are and the ability to back the appropriate technology stack, into a problem domain. And in your ability to kind of have at the end of the day is going to be a stack of technology. They're going to be leveraging that should be optimized for the business. In many cases, they're only promoting agentic AI. And as I mentioned earlier, in many cases, agentic AI is not going to be the right solution. It's the coolest solution, it's the most hype solution, but it's going to end up costing you a lot of money, and you're going to end up spending way more than you should on solving this particular problem, where you're going to be taking resources away from your other problem solutions, and that's going to return minimum value back to the business. So a repeatable path that doesn't begin by asking whether agents are even necessary is not a strategy. It's just marketing. And when I look at many of these documents, they're exactly what I think were created to be. They were created as marketing documents that are going to create demand, create interest, open up the doors to the partners having meetings with key stakeholders within the organization to get these multi-million-dollar agentic AI architecture and development deals that are out there. So it's architecture and nothing more, nothing less. And if you sell it as something that is going to be the end-all solution, which many of the organizations out there and technology providers and consulting providers are selling it that way, it's really misaligning with what your clients, what your customers need to be looking at right now. And so don't look at frameworks, look at your existing infrastructure, look at your current business problems, look at your current use cases, prioritize them, understand the cultural issues that you have that need to change over time. And those are the harder problems to solve. Putting these large marketing frameworks out there, I understand why you're doing it. I've done a few of these myself. I've worked for large consulting firms. I've created some architecture in the past because we tried to get something out there that's going to leverage our capabilities in the market. Agentic AI suddenly sprang up. Many of the consulting companies are spending billions of dollars in marketing messaging, which at the end of the day, that's all this stuff is. It's marketing messaging. So force-fitting agents into broken processes doesn't modernize operation. It automates confusion, and it automates confusion at scale. The force fit is where I'm largely concerned, where the damage is going to be done. Obviously we can take something and, put a methodology and a framework around it, and it ends up being something that just highlights the fact that we may not want to proceed with automation, in this case, agentic AI. We may want to use it, look at more traditional approaches. And this stuff is going to end up causing confusion because people are going to fail to see why I'm even moving forward with an agentic AI technology stack when that's nothing that we need right now. But these frameworks, these strategies, these playbooks are force-fitting agentic AI into almost every solution out there. And it's crazy, kind of how we have a mentality out there where everything is going to be moving toward agentic, and anybody who says something different is in essence going against the zeitgeist. I don't know how many meetings I've been at in the last year, where I ask people, why are we doing this as an agentic AI system? And it's crickets. No one can answer the question. And it's almost a question that they're surprised is even asked. And that is a huge concern of me, because that means many people are going to be marching down this path, force-fitting agentic AI into problem domains where it has no business being in those problem domains. So if your data is fragmented, your integrations are brittle, and the ownership is unclear, agents won't save you. They'll amplify failure modes. So ultimately, this thing is going to hit with a degree of failure that we have yet to see in the last 35 years of my career, that's for sure. And so in other words, this is going to be failure with many zeros on the end. And so we saw this with cloud computing. People were moving, with data sets and applications into the cloud without a good understanding as to whether or not they're going to be optimized for the cloud or it was a good architectural decision or not, because the cloud was the cool path that everybody was moving to. They were told it was going to be cheaper, better, more agile. And while some of that is true, for the majority of applications and data sets that moved in the cloud, they ended up being counterproductive. In other words, they ended up removing business value. We're going to have the same issue here. So many multi-agent orchestration stories are overkill, where workflows, rules, and straightforward automation would outperform on cost and reliability. So we're making something overly complicated. By taking an application that's fairly simplistic and breaking it apart into multiple agents that have their own, small language model. It could be using a large language model, or however we want to automate those systems. Again, I, urge you to, take my Agentic AI course out on LinkedIn Learning, or just watch the YouTube video I made last year. If we're doing that, we're not solving the issue. Even though it looks cool, we're breaking apart a fairly simplistic application as several agents that are able to work together to basically automate some processes. And we're able to run those agents on different platforms. And those agents have little brains into themselves, little personalities, they're little personas. I built a bunch of these and I know what they do, but in many cases, they're going to be overkill. So the fastest way to lose credibility in this market is to promise universal agentic AI success and deliver expensive theater instead. And a lot of this stuff is just theater. It's marketing messages and, promises that are being made without a core understanding of what this technology does and where it should be applied. And I think a lot of this is just the fact of the matter is a lot of these folks who are writing these agentic AI playbooks and strategies and frameworks don't understand the approach. So they don't understand what agentic AI is at its essence, when it should be used and when it shouldn't be used. And they're really just kind of making playbooks that are, redone versions of what they did in the cloud and redone versions of what they did with microservices, application modernization, things like that. I recognize a lot of these things from some of the documents I saw in the past. And they're not going to be helping their clients. And I would say go off and understand what this technology does and what it doesn't do, when it should be applied and when it shouldn't be applied, and then come back and make a framework around that. And that would be excellent IP, even if the fact that in many cases, in fact, the majority of the cases, I would say about 80%, you're going to be telling your clients, telling your customers, it's not a fit, don't use it. Go off and use something else. Use traditional technologies, traditional cloud approaches, microservices, things like that. It's going to be a lot less expensive, and chances are it's going to have a greater chance of success. So anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments, whether you think I'm off base or not. A lot of people seem to be following this understanding. I was amazed at the number of comments and views I got on the LinkedIn post that I'll put in the description, by the way, so you can check that out, and some of the articles I wrote out on LinkedIn that were critical of these playbooks and their ability to bring value, back to the enterprise. And this point now, I think it's something we need to fix. And I think a lot of consulting organizations have so much invested and so much momentum in moving in this direction that they're not going to be willing to listen to what I say or listen to what other people are saying. And they're just going to go forward and create a huge mess within their client infrastructures, which unfortunately is the way we find out that a lot of this stuff doesn't work. We have to, touch the stove, so to speak. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my other videos on this channel. Also check out my InfoWorld Cloud Computing blog, my 100+ LinkedIn Learning courses, and of course, my Generative AI Architecture course out on Go Cloud Careers. And finally, my latest books, Unlocking the Power of Cloud and An Insider's Guide to Cloud Computing. So until next week, stay very, very safe. The magical YouTube algorithm thinks this is another one of my videos that you should watch now. Take care, guys.